much for coming in and speaking with us. Let me quickly move on. Ashish Bhandari, Managing Director and CEO, Thermax Group, joining us. 1,600 crore order win. Firstly, Ashish, thank you so much for waiting by very, very patiently while we complete this conversation. But talk to us a little bit about that order. It's a large order nonetheless for you, even in the relative size of it. Talk to us about what the order is for and what's the kind of timeline. Just break it up for our viewers.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me. Great. The order itself is for a supercritical 800 megawatt boiler. This is something that is at the heart of a large thermal power plant, which is one of the most efficient designs in the world. The project itself will get done over 3 to 4 years. Thermax's scope is delivery of the equipment and then supporting with commissioning and then, of course, supervision of the equipment. The construction portion and the civil portion is not in our scope. This particular value refers to the equipment value primarily.
Hi, Ashish. Good to be speaking with you. I want to understand what the nature of the order book currently is at. What's your current order book total? And to what extent is it inclined towards domestic markets as opposed to international?
So this particular order is, of course, domestic. And in that sense, it skews the numbers slightly towards domestic. But in the recent past and in the future as well, in the immediate future, we are seeing a significant uptick in our international pipeline. And we are seeing strength in multiple international projects. Here we have had wins in the Middle East for large oil and gas customers. We are supplying equipment to data centers in the US, large refinery and fertilizer-related wins in Africa. So it's a good mix of geographies and applications. In the recent past, our international order book has been more than 30% of our overall order intake that we are seeing. And even in the future also, we are seeing a good, healthy mix between international and domestic.
Okay. Ashish, you said this order execution is going to be spread over 4 years. Does the revenue accrue at the end of the 4 years or through the 4-year period?
Oh, no. It's through the 4 years.
Sure.
Year 1 less, year 2 and year 3 is where most of the revenue will get recognized, and a smaller portion. And depending on how the overall execution of the project goes, a smaller portion in the 4th year. So most of the recognition will happen in year 2 and year 3.
And give us a sense with regard to the kind of traction that you're seeing on your order book. It's a large order book now that you're sitting on. How quickly do you expect to execute the larger order book? Give us a sense.
So most of our larger order book, which we have, is 1 to 2 years in execution. So there's very little which is beyond 24 months. There is some which is 12 months. It's in the 12 to 24 month period. When we started this year, our order backlog was relatively low, and which is why this past year that went by, our revenue growth was moderate at best. You need to see where we finished the year, so can't share specifics. But you will see that our backlog has gone up significantly. Moreover, our backlog has gone up in areas that we like, which are relating to industrial products, relating to kind of even on the project side, orders that are international, relating to delivery of equipment, very little site-related, execution-related projects that we have in our mix. So we like our backlog the way it is building up. We like the growth that we have in our backlog. We'll finish the year with strong numbers on order intake and then what it means for a carry forward coming into the new year.
Ashish, I also want to understand about whether or not there is any hit or at least aberration when it comes to your international market exposure on account of the Middle East conflicts.
Not immediately. There is some minor hiccups which are more related to us being able to ship out the equipment that we had manufactured and give it to our customers. Yeah, Middle East, and Middle East was our fastest growing market, but that is a small aberration. Yeah, it's a few months at best delay, 1 or 2 months. That is not a problem at all. Otherwise, I don't see any slowdown, major slowdown in activity on the ground in the Middle East, which means customers that had project executions that were going on, for the most part, those projects continue to get executed. I'm sure there'll be some concern relating to logistics. Some of the projects will also go through redo in light of the war that is going on. My personal expectation is when things slow down, there'll be significant reconstruction activity which will come, which should benefit many vendors, including companies like Thermax, that have strong capability to serve the region.
Interesting. So, with large orders coming from Africa and the Middle East, tell me, what is the strategy for expanding into high margin service revenues in these particular regions? Considering you're already anticipating that Thermax is going to play a large role in the rebuild of West Asia.
So services is a big part of what we want to do. In Africa, we are already providing operations and maintenance related services, increasing our headcount, adding more and more capability, both directly and working with our channel partners. A similar strategy holds true for Middle East as well. We have started a 100% owned legal entity in Saudi Arabia, primarily for services focus. We have one of the largest installed base for in terms of market share in at least 2 to 3 key markets of the Middle East, and services and growing services is a big part of what we want to do right. Yeah, not only provide equipment, but be on the ground, have manpower, spares, services, upgrades, digital, all of that capability to service our customers as well.
Ashish, you've sacrificed some of the chunkier orders because they are lower in margin. Talk to us about, or just give us some color around this 1,600 crore order win and the orders that you're bidding for. What's the kind of margin or the target that you're looking for?
See, I'll be quite blunt in terms of our own, my own assessment of Thermax. Yeah, we always said that it is not that we don't want large orders or chunky orders. We wanted those orders to be of a specific profile, orders that have long execution period, orders that are with the public sector and involve significant capabilities that are relating to civil and construction that extend over multiple years. Those are projects that have not is where we haven't done as well. Yeah, and those are the kinds of projects that we took a step back from and evaluated what is it that we wanted to do. In that mix, we said that our pipeline of large projects is, and I've been saying this for a few quarters, and now it's starting to show as well, is the highest it has been, which means our ability to serve international customers, even domestically. The supercritical project is a good example. For us, it's a very strategic win and an important win. Of course, we need to execute this well to show we are worthy of the trust the customer has given us. But the project itself is largely equipment supply. Yeah, and engineering the equipment right, sourcing it right, designing it, manufacturing it, and supplying it, which is something that we think is a strength for Thermax. And by the way, you talked about regions. We, of course, for us, even now starting to provide equipment to the US as well, in terms of cooling solutions, in terms of large boiler solutions also. Both of those are strengths as well. Yeah, it's not just Middle East and Africa. It's the regions and the applications are broader than those.
Okay, Ashish, thank you so much for joining us, giving us that perspective. It's always good chatting with you, and especially when there's so many moving parts, it's good getting that perspective.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
No, pleasure's entirely ours. Let